Hello travellers, welcome back to our channel, Travel with Cubs, where every adventure is a family affair. Today we're taking you on an exciting journey to a place steeped in history and magic, and that is to the Alnwick Castle. Just off the A1 and easily accessible by train and bus, Alnwick Castle is perfectly situated in the heart of Northumberland, away from the hustle and bustle of city life. We are driving to the car park to park our cars, and we are excited to explore the Alnwick Castle with our cubs.
Hello everybody, welcome to our channel, Travel with Cubs. Today we are at Alnwick.
Keep watching until the end of the video, guys. Today we are going to show you around the replica Napoleon cannons, museums and the fun broomstick training sessions at Alnwick Castle.
Ooh, look at that!
It takes about 10 minutes to walk from the car park to the castle entrance, and the walk is very pretty. Our cubs were really happy to see the colourful fish in the pond on the way to the castle. Since it's summertime now, Alnwick Castle gets really busy. To make things easier and save money, we suggest getting your tickets online in advance. When you do that, you also get a pass that lets you visit anytime you want for the next year. Just remember, this is only during the times when the castle is open. You can visit Alnwick Castle every day from the March 31st to October 26th this year, between 10 in the morning and 5:30 in the evening. Just like at any place you visit, you can't miss this ice cream stand here. This is an authentic Italian gelato locally made in Northumberland. Tickets to Alnwick Castle do not give access to the Alnwick Gardens. They are separate visitor attractions with their own events, admission policies and visiting arrangements. For the best experience, we suggest spreading out your visits to the castle and gardens over 2 days. Exploring the gardens usually takes about 3 hours, and if you rush through, you might have to skip some of the scheduled events at each place. Additionally, there's a magical and mysterious village called Lilitori. It's a place of play and home to 9 clans who love Christmas. As we made our way to the castle, we were excited to visit the Forgotten Garden Adventure Golf outside the entrance to the Alnwick Gardens. Now let's dive into the story. Once upon a time in the Alnwick Garden, there was a huge shudder and the ground began to move and shake. They called upon the fairest of them all to find a solution to the moving ground. But alas, even the bravest couldn't stop the ground from moving. A strange fog set in from the west and a hole emerged in the ground. All manner of creatures, plants and beasts wriggled their way from the shattered earth. Rubble and ruins began to appear. A forgotten garden had been found. But beware, it is full of holes. With your club and ball in hand, get ready to challenge the Forgotten Gardens inhabitants and compete. As we get closer to the castle entrance, there are staff members who check the tickets for entry. Right outside the castle entrance, you can witness an exceptional display of medieval falconry, worthy of entertaining the old earls of Northumberland, from 2 of the country's finest historical falconers.
Brings us to the end of our I hope you've enjoyed meeting a few of our birds, learning about them and of course their heritages. And if you have any questions, then we will be
With an extensive knowledge and a passion for historical interpretation, Raphael Falconry's performances represent an authentic reproduction of falconry from the medieval period. Raphael's falconry holds more than 45 years of combined falconry experience with 20 years in heritage performances. The bird of prey performances draw upon meticulous research to present a captivating and realistic insight into the world of English falconry. Now we've come close to the stunning Alnwick Castle. The castle holds over 950 years of history waiting to be explored, and its beginnings can be traced back to the time of the Normans. Since 1309, the castle story has been closely connected to the Percy family, a family with a history as remarkable as the castle itself. Being the second largest inhabited castle in the UK, Alnwick has played various roles throughout its history, from a military base to a place of learning, a haven for evacuees, a film location, and most importantly, a family residence. As well as being the residence for the current Duke of Northumberland, Alnwick Castle has also been featured in lots of movies and TV shows. You might recognize it from famous ones like Harry Potter, Downton Abbey, and Transformers: The Last Night. They were all filmed here at the Alnwick Castle. There's a map close to the meeting point, and this is where the planned tours begin on the day. We are now heading towards the staterooms. Entry is part of your admission, but when it's really busy, there might be some waiting due to capacity limits. The staterooms are open to visitors from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. daily. Last admission 4 p.m. and visitors under the age of 16 must be accompanied by an adult. Photography, food and drinks are not permitted inside. As we can't use the cameras inside the staterooms, we are unable to show you what's in there. Inside you can find the lower guard chamber, upper guard chamber, the library, the drawing room, the dining room and the china gallery.
Right, the only thing we ask is you, when you're inside, there's no photography inside at all.
There's a zombie there and some skeletons there.
Show me the skeletons.
Then people walk in there. Then people in there.
Skeletons here. Liana?
Open it. And bad people.
Okay, Liana, do you also want to go and help
Why
Liana
not
to open
open
it?
it?
Why?
And bad people come. And bad people.
Our cubs had a great time during their visit. The staterooms are full of interesting things to discover, and the staff are really helpful. They are happy to answer all the questions our cubs had. Also, our cubs got involved in a treasure hunt activity while they were there. There are tours available on the day you can join. One of them is the Historical Grounds Tour. With a knowledgeable guide, you can hear exciting stories from the long history of Alnwick Castle as you walk around the grounds. Alnwick Castle has 3 museums included in the ticket price. One of them is the Fusiliers Museum of Northumberland, which tells the story of Northumberland's Fusiliers. You can learn what it's like to be a soldier, try on the uniform, fire a Vickers machine gun, or march with the band. Unfortunately, we weren't able to visit this museum because we had to go to the Broomstick training that we had booked earlier. Broomstick training at Alnwick Castle is a fun and unique experience for all ages. The training takes place in the same courtyard where Harry had his first flying lesson in the film production of Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone. Under the expert guidance of the eccentric professors, you'll be introduced to the art of mastering a broomstick, from perfecting your mount and dismount to learning how to gracefully curve and maneuver across the lawns of Alnwick Castle. the enchanting Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, as many know it, all at threading speeds. Weather permitting, the Broomstick training sessions takes place at various times during the day. Just check what's on board when you arrive to find the specific timings for the day of your visit. Each lessons last around 25 magical minutes.
Thank you, madam, but it's cold and noisy. But these sessions, are here to join in, are we? Let's try it again. Good afternoon. That's a bit better. So we'll start with introductions. I am Professor Percy. We are joined by esteemed visiting royalty, no less. Enormous, gorgeous, just go ping off the floor now. To come to you. Stand out for the next 6 hours. Now, we generate lift through physical movement. So we bend instead. Come on, you do it for Joe Wicks, do it for me. Get out, get up. Get those glutes working. And also, we all know the magic's in. 3, 2, 1. And in your own time, Professor, a fly.
In the loops. Right. Here we go.
Wash! Wash! Delightful! Hello! Wash! Poetry in motion! Wash! Oh, I won, yes! Didn't I tell you it would be glorious? I told you it would. And it was.
Training right there.
Yes, right there.
So,
Now, you may have noticed the Professor making a slightly unusual sound, Professor. That noise was. Wash! That was a good wash as well. Now, that is the Professor's Broomstick engine noise. Her anti-collision device. When you're flying up there in the clouds, the last thing you want to do is to bump into other wizards. So each person here today with a broomstick in their hand will have their own unique engine noise. It could be anything. It will spew forth spontaneously from within. The only limit is your own infinite imaginations. It could really be anything. It could be the sound of a flushing toilet. Have you ever flushed the toilet, sir? Oh, dear me. It could be the sound of a very angry donkey. A bit surprised there, this gas bill. Could be the sound of a very fast racing car. You're my cat. I can't leave you out, can I? I can't. I could, but I'm not. Could be the sound of a wasp on a trampoline. You're 2 for 2, well done. So you get the idea, the sound could be anything you choose. You're in reverse, which is very dangerous, young lady. There you go, darling. There we go. Right, we've got side 1, side 2. Side 1, you're going first. So, stay in the safety position, side 2. On my first count, you will leap upon your broomstick. And on my second, you're going to fly down and around an imposing navigator, around them and back to your starting positions, making your engine noises so loudly and proudly. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Yes. Let's get you on your brooms then. 3, 2, 1. No, not you. You stay. You stay safe. 3, 2, 1, fly! On for us, yes. He's owning it, he's owning it. And then back to your gun, stop the charge. Back to your seen how high the bar's been set? Can you do any better?
Yes.
There's confidence right there. The rest of you, right, let's get you on your broomstick. Straight down one. You know, 3, 2, 1, fly!
Our cubs had a great time learning how to fly a broomstick and practicing their skills. They even got to take a photo with their broomsticks at the end of the session. We would definitely recommend broomstick training at Alnwick Castle to anyone looking for a fun and memorable activity.
Jump down, 3, 2, 1, click. The shot you're trying to catch is the broomstick. You do a video and slam the ball up. First, slow mo's good for this burst. Boomerang.
Somebody got to win.
Now the silver trick. Now, what that you want is the fly with a broomstick trick. Your one will be side on. You talk the first level and you hit. Give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, click. Shot you're trying to catch.
The Alnwick Castle gun terrace must have been completed by 1768, as guns were fired from it to celebrate the finishing of a new bridge near Denwick in that year. The town of Alnwick celebrated the new bridge with toasts to the Duke and Duchess, and the cooking of a dumpling large enough for 200 guests to feast on. Initially utilized on battlefields and for safeguarding castles, cannons were potent tools for launching attacks. These robust weapons could propel heavy cannonballs towards the enemy, causing disruption among both armies and structures.
Hello, we are Trouble with Cubs.
Standing proudly on the gun terrace is a Napoleon cannon, positioned exactly where it would have been historically fired. This bronze-crafted cannon serves as a replica that can be fired, mimicking the importance of our notable British historical cannons, some of which are still visible on the gun terrace today. The river you see in the distance is the River Aln. It is also mentioned that the first Earl of Northumberland, Henry Percy, altered the course of the river to improve the view from the Alnwick Castle. He moved the river away from the castle, creating the scenic landscape that the visitors see today. This act of change in the river's course was a significant engineering feat of its time and is often cited as a romantic gesture to enhance the beauty of the castle surroundings. Moving ahead, our next stop is a journey through the museums. The Castle Museum, housed within the Postern Towers, has stood for nearly 2 centuries since its opening. Back in the mid-19th century, the 4th Duke of Northumberland championed the study of northern archaeology, leading to the collection and acquisition of artifacts from the museum. This period highlighted Roman and early British antiques, especially those discovered within Northumberland. The collections were meticulously documented and depicted into 2 volumes of books. By 1930, they had expanded to econom pass artifacts from diverse periods of British and Celtic history. Today, many of these treasures still grace the museum's halls, reflecting the collecting passions of numerous generations of the Percy family. Our next stop takes us to the Constable Tower. Alnwick Castle celebrated the grand reopening of the Constable's Tower in June 2018, following nearly 2 years of extensive refurbishment and development. While you explore Alnwick Castle, don't miss this chance to delve into the exhibitions and displays spanning all 3 floors of this remarkable tower. On the basement level, you will find a space virtually untouched since the 14th century, likely once a buttery store for drinks or other kind of storeroom. This floor of the tower gives a sense of how Alnwick Castle's interiors may have been over 600 years ago. Hamad is now leading us to the middle level. You can explore a case full of fascinating objects collected by various Dukes of Northumberland, including items from North America and Polynesia, and a 19th century velocipede, a little like a bicycle. On the top level, you will discover the story of the Percy Tenantry Volunteers, a regiment set up at the end of the 18th century during the Napoleonic Wars. As well as this, you'll be able to enjoy a short animated film detailing some of the tales from the Alnwick Castle Volunteers. You can view many of the weapons and equipment they used over 200 years ago, all meticulously cleaned during the tower's recent refurbishment. The Ramparts walk at Alnwick Castle is a truly enchanting experience. Step onto this historic walkway and you'll be transported back in time, surrounded by centuries of history. The stone walls beneath your feet have seen it all, from knights and royalty to the everyday life of castle's inhabitants. As you leisurely stroll along the ramparts, you'll be rewarded with awe-inspiring panoramic views of the castle grounds and the picturesque Northumberland countryside. This is a remarkable opportunity to connect with the past and immerse yourself in the castle's rich heritage, all while enjoying the fresh air and stunning scenery. Now it's time for a well-deserved break to refuel and nourish our cubs. They've been thoroughly enjoying their visit to the castle and have been on their feet, exploring and discovering to their heart's content. After a brief break, we went to the Artisan courtyard to learn more about the Percy family's legacy. There we saw a remarkable carriage that had once carried Hugh and Charlotte to Reims in France for the coronation of King Charles X of France. This poignant piece of history allowed us to step back in time and imagine the grandeur of such important journeys. Dragon Quest can be a bit daunting for the little ones, but it's an excellent choice for families with children aged between 5 and 12 years. Dragon Quest welcomes visitors daily, and it's included in your admission fee, with entry via the Artisan's courtyard. Upon your arrival, we suggest obtaining a free time slot ticket from the Artisan's courtyard. Unfortunately, when we reached the Dragon's Quest, it was already late and approaching closing time. However, this paves the way for another exciting opportunity to revisit Alnwick Castle in the future. As we conclude our journey through Alnwick Castle, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for joining us. We sincerely hope you found our video enjoyable and informative. Your feedback is invaluable to us, so please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked what you saw, a thumbs up and sharing with others would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to continue exploring with us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Travel with Cubs. We'll look forward to bringing you more exciting adventures in the future. Safe travels!